It's funny how family can sometimes be the ones who try to tear you down right when you're trying to build something beautiful. For the past 7 years, I've been in this emotional limbo, desperately trying to forge a relationship with my child who has been living with their father since the divorce. And honestly, it's been a battle. Their dad hasn't exactly been supportive of my efforts, and every time I think I'm making progress, the universe throws a roadblock in my way. But lately, I finally sensed an opportunity. My child is older now, and I felt like I had a chance to really connect. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely want the people I love to be part of my child's life. My sister, Emma, really wants to be involved too. I understand her perspective. It's her niece or nephew, and she loves them even though she hasn't seen them. I want that for my child as well. A strong family network is so important. But here's where things got tricky. Emma has a lot of enthusiasm, and as much as I appreciated it, I was also incredibly apprehensive about her getting too involved before I had a firm grasp on things. One day, after a particularly heartbreaking conversation with my child, I decided to broach the subject with my ex about allowing extended family to send my child cards for birthdays and holidays. To my surprise, he agreed. It felt like a small victory, a glimmer of hope in a sea of challenges. I took this green light and ran with it. I told Emma she could send birthday cards, messages, whatever she wanted. I felt like finally I was creating a bridge for my child between their two families. But Emma, bless her heart, couldn't just leave it at cards. She kept pushing, insisting that she wanted to give my child her phone number so they could talk directly. I felt this pit growing in my stomach. I had to tell her no. I knew from experience how deeply uncomfortable my ex could get when he felt his boundaries were being trampled. He's not just protective, he's been outright cruel at times. I explained to Emma that I could risk losing my child again if my ex found out she gave her number to them. I really thought she understood. I stressed to her how important boundaries were, especially in this delicate situation. Then a few weeks later, my heart sank. I received a message from my child filled with excitement. A birthday card arrived, personalized and colorful, but there it was. Emma had included her phone number. I felt like the world had collapsed around me. All that work, all those careful steps I was trying to take, and now I felt betrayed. Emma had crossed a line I explicitly asked her not to. I can remember the surge of emotions flooding through me. Anger, frustration, and disbelief. My mind raced through the potential consequences. What would my ex do when he found out? Would he cut off all communication with me? Would I lose the chance to develop this bond with my child once again? I was upset, and I still am. I stewed over the situation for days, wrestling with whether to confront Emma. Part of me wanted to scream and tell her how disrespected I felt, but the other part of me understood that she didn't mean any harm. Still, I can't help but feel like she put our relationship at risk, and that's not something I take lightly. Eventually, I decided to talk to her face to face. I didn't want to approach it in anger, though. I wanted her to understand where I was coming from. I sat down with her, my heart thumping in my chest, and I opened up. I told her how much I valued her love for my child and how I wanted her to be part of their life, but I needed her to respect the boundaries set with their father. She listened, but I could see the confusion in her eyes. She didn't seem to realize the depth of my concerns, and that stung. I shared my fears about losing contact with my child if my ex found out, the pain this could cause both of us. In the end, we reached a sort of understanding, but I can't shake the feeling that boundaries are more important than ever now. I wish my sister could see that my heart is in the right place. I want to build something beautiful with my child, but I can't help but feel like I'm fighting against not just my ex, but sometimes my family too. So I turn the question to you all. Adia for being upset at my sister for overstepping boundaries and being disrespectful? What would you have done in my situation? How do you navigate family dynamics when it comes to children? I'd love to hear your thoughts.